In this video, Husam shares his experience with reading books and how he transformed from someone who hated reading to having an endless reading list that he cannot catch up to.
My story with reading actually began sometime in college. I credit it to my interactions with the MSA. I feel like overall, in the years between transition into the US and going into college, I kind of wasn't as intact with the dean, unfortunately, and I didn't know about community, I didn't know about Islamic associations, organizations. Like to me, the mosque was just a mosque. You go pray, and you go on about your day. But then once I got to college and I started interacting with more and more Muslims of different backgrounds, and I learned about madhabs for the first time in my life, and people are telling me, "Oh, you're Yemeni. What's your madhab?" I'm like, "What's the madhab?" And like I remember, like what triggered it was I was asking one of my Bengali friends, I'm like, "Why aren't you praying Asr with us, bro?" Hey, it's like, "Oh, we pray later. We pray at like 5 something." I'm like, I that's cool, but please don't do that on Maghrib when I'm fasting. I want to break my fast. So I picked up one of the very first books that I picked up in English was The Ideal Muslim. It's what it's what the title says. You can judge that book by its cover. It's what the quote unquote ideal Muslim would do, like in terms of characteristics, in terms of worship, in terms of treating others. And then one of the first Arabic books that I read was مئة من علماء الإسلام غيروا مجرى التاريخ للكاتب الفلسطيني جهاد الترماني. And I feel like over the years between 2011 and 2016, 17, 18, 16 was when I started college. Just the constant bombardment of the news and the headlines and us knowing or like hearing that Muslims are terrorists, Islam is backwards, despite having that strong foundation in what Islam is and our identity is, it's like you hear a lie so much you start to believe it.
Hmm.
I like I don't recall like my identity being shaking that much, but just thinking about how much impact those books had on me, I feel like I was completely missing out. Like I was like literally like a convert who just read the Quran for the first time.
Mm.
A whole new world opened up to me. I'm like, we were this. We had Suleiman the Magnificent, we had Muhammad al-Fatih, we had, and it mentioned like some Yemeni personalities or like some Yemenis of some personalities of Yemeni origin that I had learned in the Sirah books that we learned in al-Islamiyah, Quran Islamiyah back in Yemen. But I hadn't been exposed to it in so long that I was literally finding a new religion. Like this was the whole time. And then eventually like that it just became a domino effect. Like you would read one book and then you get to the end and there was the citations, they cite book A, B, C, C, and D, and I would go to Amazon and order these books and it would lead me, and it became endless to the point where I am stuck now, and I made a commitment in around mid 2022 that I will not buy another book until I finish this stack right here. And I I don't consider myself a good reader in the sense that I'm easily distracted. And I would find something very, very intriguing that I want to shove down everybody's throat. I want them to know what this freaking book says. Like, how does the world not know this? That I would pick up the phone and like take a picture of it and like highlight it, and then it would consume me so much that I'm like, by the time I get back to reading, like an hour had already passed. So because of the trains and the subways, now it's getting better. It did not have service. One of the least distracting ways for me to like get some reading done was to hop on the subway. There's no service. I would just like sometimes I would go like take the N train and go to the last stop and back. That would help me finish books quicker. And I actually got most of my reading done throughout my college years on the train, on the way to and from school. And one of the funniest things is that I would completely leave off the assigned readings and just like read the books that I like.